chasing that feeling. So he eventually he could have won in his past. Could have won in the past. His car breaks up and he gets all really
This shit is real, but this is all made up. It's made up stories so that they can kind of mind the drama as best as possible. Anyways, but eventually you think this young rookie who he's butting heads with constantly, they're, at first it's actually Brad Pitt's character that is being kind of a dick and doesn't want to let the rookie pass him. And he's like, if you want to pass me, the team's like, hey, let him pass you. And he's like, no, you got to earn it. You didn't do it. Like, he's testing him and basically ends up making him spin out. Later on, the guy returns, makes Brad Pitt spin out. Brad Pitt goes up to him all fucking pissed off. I'm like, yeah, but you did that to him. But it's a different part in the movie where they're even more desperate. There's less time to be fucking around at that point. And doing that because his friend is Javier Bardem's character is Brad Pitt's friend. They used to race together, and so when he feels the rookie's just playing with his company, and because the rookie has agent character that's constantly wanting him to do all the other stuff, the social media and the fans and the press events, and to get other teams to eventually recruit him because this isn't going to exist anymore. So he might have his motivations differently, but over time everybody kind of comes together and plays off each other in really good ways. And Brad Pitt is more about combat. Is his whole theme of combat. He wants to get in close to people, ride the dirty air. But all of the F1 cars are built to not do that. They're built different. And so he goes to the engineer lady who builds the cars, and he's like, I need you to make a custom car that makes it better.
You want me to build a brand new car? Okay, I'll do it in 24 hours.
Yeah.
Not necessarily.
It was quick.
Just the
quick.
arrow stuff, and it's cool to see it. Now, whether this is real or makes any sense, and I don't think
I'll allow it.
because
I was entertained.
Right, anything that makes you good at combat in the corners and with air and riding other people and being close to other people and riding in dirty air is going to make you slower on the long way. So it would even out, and it would probably just be suboptimal. But I don't care. Because it's cool that Brad Pitt's like the fucking brawler, and then the other guy is like the fucking traditional racer. He's quick, young, and just
kind of dumb.
Good, but kind of dumb.
Yeah.
And they eventually learn to work together. Hey, the simple story. And they pit other people out, and they one guy holds the leaders back while
shake and bake.
Yeah, basically the other one is trying to catch up. Is that the actual shake and bake tactic from Talladega Nights? I forgot.
Yeah. Because he's like, hey, do you think one time I could win the race? Because he slingshots him all the time.
Yeah, mm-hmm.
He's like,
oh, that's right. Yeah. So that you get a little bit of that in here. And eventually, of course, as we said, Brad Pitt, it's good to see that it's like, is he going to win? He doesn't win. He has to let the other guy win, or they'll get him next time, or some kind of subverted expectations.
Yeah.
No. It's just glorious. This old guy who never got to win and has spent his whole life searching for this feeling. Not only does he simultaneously capture the feeling in this last lap that's set up perfectly for him, but he also wins the entire thing, and he could be called the greatest racer in the world. Since they consider F1 the top racing. Now, whether you're the best racer in the world just because you're F1.
For that week. For that week.
For that week, fine. We'll give it to you.
It's for that week because the two people in front of you crash. So you're like,
yeah.
Because that's how he wins. He wins because his teammate is actually in first, and Lewis Hamilton is pissed that they shake and baked him. And so Lewis Hamilton takes out Pierce, and then they fly off, and that's the only reason that Brad Pitt wins.
Yeah.
Because Lewis Hamilton's a dick.
Yeah,
a very tiny. He's got a cool dog, though. He's got an English bulldog. I like his dog.
That's a real racer.
Yeah.
And he gets a cameo in here.
There's a lot of Max Verstappen and Lewis Hamilton glazing in this movie. A lot. So
I didn't notice it because I didn't even know who the fuck those names are or who those people are, so it didn't really matter to me. Anyways, so yeah, and then so you get the big fucking fireworks and explosion, and you get the payoff, and you get the champagne and the feel good. And I just feel like a lot of movies recently is not about the feel good and doesn't want to pay it off because they feel like it's too cheesy. But fuck it. There is a message in winning like that. And I just think it's real nice. And I would replay it. I would rewatch this.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
For fans of racing.
The only thing that I was kind of worried about was towards the end because JP got into a car accident and he had to get he was in the hospital or whatever. Then
his
it was
car
Brad
flies
Pitt.
off. His mom blames Brad Pitt because
she's dumb.
Yeah,
she's an idiot. It was actually JP. Brad Pitt's like,
You
ride the
gotta-
guy's
be
air,
patient.
and then at the end overtake him. But JP's like, I can take him now, and then he flies off, and you get that
Getting
scene from
cocky,
the trailer.
kid. Yeah. So he got hurt, and then Brad Pitt got hurt, and then at the final one, he starts getting blurry vision and stuff like that. It's like, we don't need another accident. I thought they were gonna
one more thing
to make it like we didn't need that extra thing.
Yeah.
Where he starts getting blurry vision. I thought he was gonna get into another car accident and maybe die or something because he's like, oh, if I die on the field, they'll be okay.
They try to tease it that. I'm glad they didn't go that route.
Me too. I was like, thank you. I'm glad
he
we
dies
didn't do
so
that.
the other guy can get first.
Yeah.
Or some bullshit.
Yeah. I'm like, I'm happy they didn't go that route.
Yeah. It's simple storytelling. There's nothing complex here at all. So.
At one point, let's see, the Pierce guy goes to the club the night before they're supposed to race, and this is the only part that flew over my head. I'm like, who? So then, he's having a good time soaking in all the drama, and one chick comes up to him. It's a hot chick, and she's like, oh, you F1 driver? And he's like, yeah. And she's like, oh, yeah, what team are you for? And he tells the team, and she's like, oh, can you
Just
talk
another
to Carlos
guy.
Sainz something?
Yeah, just
something?
another guy.
He's one of the top racers.
Yeah.
Oh, he's a real racer. Okay, because I was like, is he another guy on our team I wasn't? Because the other guy was Luca. They have a third racer, but he's never really a part of it. He's the alternate racer.
Yeah, no one likes Luca.
No one likes Luca.
No one.
He's like, God damn it, every day I suit up, I want to race, and I never get to race because Brad Pitt shows
There's a
up.
60-year-old man who shows up.
Walking every time, and then the other guy shows up, and he's miraculously good after 3 weeks in the hospital because his hands are burned. All right. So, okay, just a famous hot racer that women love or something.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Well, he gets pissed off, and he's like, I'm going home, and I'm going to focus on the race, and fuck all this superficial stuff.
This is when he's realizing that Brad Pitt's been right about a lot of things, where he's like, look, you got to get off social media, you got to focus on the race, and he starts jogging like Brad Pitt instead of the way, he was on all of them. It's like the Drago Rocky thing, where it's like one's doing all the tech advanced stuff, and then Rocky's running up a hill to, some great 80s montage song, and he's like, oh, hey, that's the right way to do it.
Yeah, and they do a montage where Brad Pitt, while Pierce has his accident, Brad Pitt is winning races his way and stuff, while this guy's training to try to get his hands back and stuff. So they've got some montages here.
That's why Brad Pitt almost beats his ass, because the kid comes back. The first time Brad Pitt says, I'm not going to let you pass me, they're in dead last by like 3 laps. There's no impact whatsoever, so he's like, hey, man, show me what you can do. Pierce ruins one where they both could have won the race.
Right.
Like, they were both way up there. So it's like, and he's like, hey, man, it's one thing when we're in fucking last place.
And you're fucking with Ruben.
You're fucking with a friend of mine.
Ruben's Money and Company. And it's cool to see the progression because Alex is right. They're dead last. Then some races, one of them gets 10th, and they're like, "Oh shit!" And then when they start to get 6th, it's this huge thing.
There's a chance.
And then you're saying there's a chance, and then by the end of the film, they're positioning 1-2 kind of thing, and fighting Ferrari and others. So yeah, it's just a great story.
Yeah,
we already covered the chick.
The other subplot with the kind of shady other partner that kind of backstabs him. Whenever they rebuild the car for combat, they change the fenders and stuff, and he submitted some fake papers, and they had to completely redo the car.
That didn't make any sense without context. Basically, there's an inside job, and so they got approval previously for their designs because they're doing things the right way. Obviously, if you're building a car for combat, you have to let everyone know there's not spikes coming
It's
out.
not fucking rockets.
There's not a button that you can press that puts a machine gun.
I call this one the Mach 5.
Right? So they thought they were approved, and they were approved, but somebody else resubmits documents, all these are forged. And all this, and it's like, but that could only happen if it came from your company, so they're like, no, this is not approved, you have to go back to the previous version that we approved. The shit box, and their cars suck, and they're gonna lose.
It's the plot from Major League where one of the owners of the team was like, "Hey, the only reason I want Brad Pitt to race this car is I want the oldest, shittiest person who's going to destroy this team, so I can sell it for a massive profit. Because if we continue to lose, then Javier
You've seen it before.
Yeah, so and then it turns out that the ragtag group of dudes from Major League
They made it happen.
with Charlie Sheen are able to win the pennant, and they get to keep the team, which is.
And that's exactly what
when you
happened.
watch too many fucking movies like all of us have, it's like, oh, I've seen this before.
Yeah.
But this evil corporate guy who was one of the guys on the board and the directors actually at one point in the film pulls Brad Pitt aside and says, look, well, you know, the company's going out of business, but I tell you what, I've got another venture going. I'm going to make you this. You're going to be this. You're going to be with us. And we'll even bring in Javier in an advisor role and stuff. And Brad Pitt realizes, wait a minute, like, you had all this stuff set up. Like, you were the one that
You backstabbed
fucked
everybody.
us. And he's like, yeah, man, I'm a winner. I want to
Like
win.
you, yeah.
And he's like, you know, but the guy's so stupid to think that Brad Pitt's not going to do anything. He has to know that Javier's his friend, and he's going to, but he's just an idiot. And he turns around all happy, and he's like, call me later, and I got a guy that can help you with your medical issues and shit. And eventually, it's good to see Brad Pitt. You know, he gets in his car, and you're like,
drives
he's going
to
to
Abu
take
Dhabi.
it. No, he's not going to take it. Of course he's not going to take it. He's a good fucking friend. So basically, he exposes the guy and tells the officials, yeah, this is the forged documents, and this is the guy that was doing it, so they can use their design in the final race.
It just got approved. He never outed
Or
him.
it was, it was just, exactly. And, and he sends him a fuck you emoji because the guy gets announced. Because Brad Pitt isn't the driver. It's going to be Luca and his replacement.
No one likes Luca.
And no one likes Luca. But last minute, he shows up with his duffel bag, and he's the driver. And then this guy's like, wait, what? And he looks over, he sees Brad Pitt, and Brad Pitt, on his phone, texts him a fuck you emoji.
Yeah.
So he's like, I'm not joining your team.
But they
Apple
gotta
phone.
win.
One last shot to try to win. And they got to win. And they do win.
They need a miracle.
And Javier, when they win, boy, he's like, I can't believe, I felt for him. I was like, yeah, well,
They needed a miracle, and they got a miracle.
And at one point, Javier didn't want to let him drive because he finds out that Brad Pitt has a secret. And the secret is that when he got into a wreck, he covered it up. He should never enter a car again because they could hit his brain and he could die.
It should have been in Rocky Balboa, the last one he did. Rocky, stop fucking fighting.
Stop fucking fighting. But he hides it, and he's like, just let me in that car. It's the only place I want to be.
It was 30 years ago. I think it would have been better tension if they're like, hey, this last accident
Yeah,
has
that's what I was
triggered something.
thinking.
But he's like, hey, 30 years ago, you got into an accident, you could die. He's like, yeah, it was 30 years ago, bro.
But they couldn't have done that most recent accident fucked up because people would have been like, well, how does he recover in time to get in the car? And that's physically impossible if he got really injured.
Did you see that crash? He recovered in 3 weeks. Pierce recovered in 3 weeks, and he was on fire for
he flipped,
3 minutes.
He's young, though.
Yeah, but they got some fiery,
Brad Pitt
tartan suits that are pretty damn
Brad Pitt,
good.
it's going to take him a while.
And what's cool is I've actually been in this event before. I don't think there's any footage of it, but Audi did a thing a long time ago where it was for a video game where the Le Mans race they did this 24/7. They gave us actual real racer suits that are like flame retardant and things, and then they had gamers obviously go in and simulate it. And so we were sleeping in rotation, and then when he bangs on 5 minutes, Like, no, you got to let somebody know more than 5 minutes ahead of time that they're about to go out there, because I was fucking tired as fuck, and it was like racing, like 8-hour shifts of racing, and that's and so to get that small little feeling in that, and that's not even real. This shit is real, and you know they do a good job of showing. They try to train their bodies, they stay in shape, and you know this is dangerous stuff. If you get into an accident, you can lose your life. And, yeah, it's just great. So I think we pretty much covered. At the beginning, he was doing the Le Mans. Then he was about to do, and he does really good position. And everybody's like, hey, man, stay, man. That was great. Oh, wow, you helped us. At the beginning of the film, he's like, no, I'm going to go on to the next. He's like, how you keep start over? How could you start over every time? And so he's going to go do Baja in California, and you know, racing in the dunes and shit. But that's when Javier comes, so he does the F1. Yeah. But after he wins, that's when they do the thing where the girl comes to his hotel room and she thinks she's gonna be with him.
Candles are lit, and he's wearing this ridiculous, like super sexy sweater. And it's just like, Steve Winwood definitely playing.
Yeah, and he's like, I forget what the interaction is.
He rides off into the sunset, and
he's like, "I'll be back," or like, "I'll see you on the road." I'm like, "This is."
So he's like, "I normally say I'll see you on the road, but instead I'll say, can I see you on the road?" And she's like, "Yeah, drive fast." Off. And then she just sits there waiting for him forever.
So assumedly he will come back. He has some business to take care of, and they'll be together. Yes, he will.
Guys in westerns never come back.
Whatever.
It's true.
So then he goes to California, to Mexico or Tijuana. No, I think it was California. And there's a Mexican team, and they're like, "Hey, we can't pay you very much. What is your name?" And he's like, you know,
Sonny Hayes.
He tells them the name, and they're
I don't think they know who the hell he is.
No.
But isn't that the guy that just won F1?
And
Baja Racing to watch F1, I guess. Yeah, but they're like, okay. And so then during the credits, there's no after credits, just a mid-credit scene. He's just racing on the dunes of Baja and having a good time, and you can actually see it's Brad Pitt in there. Now, you know, did he actually, you know,
train?
Did Tom Cruise actually fly F-16s and things? You know, he got to be in the co-pilot seat and stuff. Did Brad Pitt actually, you know, drive Formula F1 cars? They drove Formula F2 and Formula 3 cars that were modified to have F1 packages on them. But their engines were removed and it replaced with electric motors.
Go-kart motor,
basically, yeah. And they did some race weekends, not official F1 sessions, but you know, to get some more of the realistic shots and things like that. And it just looks great.
It looked really realistic.
Fucking wonderful. So, just wanted to throw that in there, that he actually got racing experience. And now I'm wondering if Brad Pitt's kind of got the racing bug in him now. Because who was it that went on to racing?
Stallone.
It was Frankie Muniz, wasn't it? He went into racing.
Driven. Check it out. It's not as good.
No, don't check it out. First, check out Gran Turismo, the video game movie, because that one's good. Then this one.
Oh, and it's
then over the top.
Then maybe over the top. Then Talladega Nights.
Yeah.
Then maybe Driven.
Death
we
Race.
forgot to mention his little superstition thing. He doesn't touch his trophies.
He has that trophy.
He doesn't like to touch a trophy. He's got a ritual where he throws cards into bin, and then he takes his one card and puts it in his pocket.
Never looks.
And then never looks. And then at the end, when he wins, he looks at the card. And I like that they don't show the audience the card. I personally think it's a king or an ace or basically the highest card, which is
the Joker.
Joker.
He didn't take it out.
That's the instructions for the bicycle deck.
He didn't take it out. He didn't take it out.
Well, so does that mean that he's going to die in Baja because now he's done all the
No.
You're not supposed
Why would he die?
Because he did the thing. He broke all of the traditions. And so, like, his luck streak is over.
No.
You're not supposed to look at the card?
Actually, I don't know if they ever say he never looks at the card. I think at the end of the race, as he looks at the card, it's just the camera gets to see him look at one of the cards one time, is what I assess. There's one final scene where the boys are button heads, and the girl calls them into a Vegas bar, and they're like, "All right, enough of this shit. One of you is gonna be number one. The other one's gonna be number two. We're gonna get all this out of your system. We're gonna play poker." And it's like, well, Brad Pitt's a gambling guy. The younger guy's a young guy, a young hot shot. They start to play, but the chick is really good at poker too. And so you have this scene here, and eventually it comes down to Brad Pitt and the young rookie. And the young rookie goes all in after Brad Pitt says, actually gives him a compliment. Like, you're a good racer.
Fives? This kid's an idiot.
Why does he think he's gonna win with
because
a pocket
he's
fives?
an idiot.
One of the worst hands.
I don't know.
It's one of the worst hands, Joe.
Okay.
It's not the worst.
The
hand.
flop had a king, and he's like, "I'm gonna go in with pocket fives."
Right, but I guess it was just like I'm so confident I'm gonna fake you out and you're gonna fold. But Brad Pitt doesn't fold. He goes all in, but he keeps his cards down, and then he reveals the cards. It's 2 fives, and then Brad Pitt goes, you got me. And then the guy's like, yeah, I won. And then his agent comes in, distracts him, picks him up. You're number one. And the chick is like, what?
Says,
she makes a comment.
I only sleep with winners. And then he kind of sneaks at the 2 kings.
Yeah,
No,
from his pocket.
No, he doesn't, Joe. He legitimately had 2 kings and shows it. And boy, her panties dropped so fast.
She was drinking tequila the entire night.
This is. I mean, that is a big power move. He's like, I'm gonna let the baby have his bottle.
It's magic.
And it got her hot and heavy.
How does it work for you?
It's like, well,
how's it work out?
I'm still practicing.
You still single, Joe? Oh well. Maybe your tricks aren't good enough.
They're not. Plus,
they're illusions.
I'm not Brad Pitt either, so that might help.
That helps a little bit when you're Brad Pitt. So then they start kissing and passionately making out, and then they make love. But you don't see, there's no like a sex scene or anything. They just go to the hotel room, and she gets a little embarrassed because Javier shows up. He knows that Brad Pitt's in her room at some point, and that's when they find out that somebody fucked with her car qualifications. But yeah, just overall great.
Good stuff.
We pretty much covered everything. Go out and see it. It is worth your money if you love big event movies, and I think you'll like it. So thank you guys so much for watching, and we will see you on the next Angry Joe Show. Bye, guys.
The Last Jedi is fundamentally the movie that has caused the biggest rift in the Star Wars fandom today.
Well said.
I hope this video really gets out there and goes viral. It's really going to explain a lot with how a lot of fans feel regarding The Last Jedi and the sequel trilogy with this new information that Mark Hamill has released in this interview, which you will see in just a moment. Before that, I want to announce 2 things. So we are giving away 2 free sabers at theorysabers.com. Right now, we're running a sale, Independence Day, in honor of July 4th. I'm working on becoming an American. My visa is pretty much almost through, and I'm very excited about that. And from there, then hopefully apply for residency, citizenship, however it works. So anyways, we're giving away 2 free sabers with every single Pixel Saber purchase. So if you want to get 1 or 2, if you get 3, you get 6 free beginner sabers in your box. We've never done this type of sale. We know you guys wanted it, so we're making it happen just for the week of July 4th, starting right now. So go ahead, code FREEDOM. And also we will be at Fan Expo Denver July 3rd, 4th, 5th, and 6th. New show or a character that he's playing. You guys can go check it out. I'm going to link it down below. But there is a lot here, of course, where they start to open up and talk about Luke Skywalker. I've seen a clip on Instagram, and I tracked down the full thing, and I have not watched it yet. So this is going to be my first watch through of what Mark has to say regarding Luke Skywalker from George's time, who created the character, all the way to Rian Johnson, who destroyed the character. And we're going to go through it and see what's up. Sit back, relax, leave a like, and let's go.
Here goes nothing. And what there is most likely directed towards a large-scale assault, like an armada. Like, we can slip through because we're the size of a dime compared to the Death Star. So intellectually, I could make sense of it, but now try and make it sound like it's an original thought that popped into your head. As Harrison once said to George about the dialogue, "Hey, you can write the you just can't say it." I thought, boy, did he nail it. But I have to tell you, so they call in Star Wars, there was a contest on set on the call board. You could rename the movie without using the word wars, and no one ever could think of a better title. But
Starfight.
It seems funny.
Starfighters.
When
I love the original 3 Star Wars movies, but I think my favorite Star Wars movie might be The Last Jedi, which is...
And see how he got this interview now.
in a lot of ways, your movie, I think.
Every word of what you just said was wrong. The way things were going, where I had the black glove over the hand that I lost, the third one was going to be about Luke struggling to decide whether to go to the dark side or not.
Funny enough, actually, that was a original concept, was that when Vader dies, the same way as it turned out in Return of the Jedi, Luke was going to take his helmet off, put it on to his head, and say, "Now I am Darth Vader." That was actually what was supposed to happen. And then George changed it, of course. And if you notice with Luke's tunic, it was all black, and it had that chest plate, that collar that was flapped open with the white. And I always thought that was like a symbolic sort of mention or nod towards Luke and Vader. That, you know, even though Vader was this dark entity, he was in the dark side, he was this black figure, he is always remaining, he always has that little piece of the light side within him. And then Luke, who was maybe able to channel some dark side energies, he was dressed in a black tunic, but he always had that white piece that was symbolizing the light side. Even in the prequel trilogy, you can always see how Anakin is always, his face is always half and half. Go watch it again. You'll see pretty much every single scene in Revenge of the Sith, half of Anakin's face is always in the shadows.
Rian Johnson is one of the most gifted directors I've ever worked with. He's amiable, he's fun on set, he's smart. He made a great movie. I think the staging of the standoff between Kylo Ren, Adam Driver, and I at the end is so well staged. You know, the foreshadowing that I'm not really there. Adam wipes the snow away and you see the red planet beneath. I wipe the snow and it's just snow. I mean, that's so subtle. I love Knives Out and Brick and Looper. He's one of my favorite directors.
All right, he's glazing so that he can kind of, I know he's going to say something opposite, or maybe he feels bad about all of the clips that have gone around of him that have gone viral, where he's explaining how it's just a movie, that it's not his Luke Skywalker, it's Jake Skywalker, how he fundamentally disagrees with everything Rian did. I wish Mark would just be so, like, less Hollywood about this and just more candid about, look, like, let's be real. If we're trying to respect George and his character, screw all this bullshit.
It is the name of your true self you've only forgotten. I know there is good in you. The Emperor hasn't driven it from you fully.
Just say what it is. Just say it for what it is. Like, he destroyed the character. Stand by your convictions and stop glazing. Like, just say it how it is. And I hope he's going to do that, because we'll see.
Fear of loss is a path to the dark side. The motivation for Luke becoming a suicidal hermit might have colored things in a way that maybe I should have kept that to myself. But I kept saying to Rian,
"Oh man, don't keep any of this stuff to yourself." Like, this is what actors, like, they got to be more like candid, you know, real YouTubers. And I can't even say all YouTubers, because most of them are fake today anyways. There are very few that have actual convictions to say what they mean and mean what they say, and they don't flip-flop just for the audience or for, you know, getting movie tickets and whatever. But Mark Hamill said what he said in the moment because he truly felt that way.
Let's all repeat the mantra, it's only a movie. And if you think you're going to go into the movie and recapture your childhood, you're setting yourself up for disappointment.
So all of this extra stuff about him feeling like what he said may have gotten the wrong idea in our heads, that we think that he doesn't like Rian Johnson, has nothing to do with that. I don't care about Rian Johnson as a human being. I'm judging him on his ability to portray Luke Skywalker and Star Wars, and that is what he has absolutely failed to do, in my opinion, and divided a fandom, which was his intention. If you've seen that clip rolling around from like 2 decades ago, he said a great movie, in his opinion, is where he creates one where an audience is divided. One half loves the film, and the other half thinks it's the most horrible, useless, garbage thing that they've ever seen in their life. He says, to me, that's a successful film. It's demented.
Hardens his resolve in the face of adversity. So that's all. I said, can I make up my own backstory of why?
Exactly, and that's exactly the thing. And he would have 100% doubled down. Luke Skywalker, as we saw him in Return of the Jedi, would not have given up. He never would have given up. He believed in the good in his father after all of the stuff that Vader had done, and he continued to double down on it. I sense the good in you, Father. Let go of your hate. He believed in him. He gave his life to save his father because he believed that strongly that his father would return. And if he wouldn't save Luke, his son, then his father truly was dead. And there was nothing worth fighting for anymore. For him to like just leave and go and become a suicidal hermit, as Mark Hamill just said again.
Damn, Ron, come on! What's the matter with you? Tomorrow. There is no tomorrow. There is no tomorrow.
That's not Luke. That's Jake Skywalker. And that is, The Last Jedi is fundamentally the movie that has caused the biggest rift in the Star Wars fandom today.
Well said.
If that movie had gone well, and we had gotten the Luke Skywalker from NJO, the Luke Skywalker freaking 20, 30 years after Return of the Jedi that we were supposed to get, who was banding together a group of Jedi that was strong and powerful and even more rooted in his ways of just being a hopeful, positive being for the galaxy and a savior, the Star Wars fandom would be in such a better place. It wouldn't be so political. There wouldn't be so many ists and phobes thrown out everywhere if you didn't like a project or something. The very vitriol within the Star Wars fandom is not necessarily due to either side fighting each other. It's due to a lack of understanding that the Star Wars fandom that was before The Last Jedi, the true George Lucas fandom, that was in love with the story, in love with Luke Skywalker, and looking forward to seeing what Disney would continue. But Disney wanted to break it. They wanted to create their own thing. And that's exactly what Rian Johnson did. And they destroyed this hopeful character of Luke Skywalker, arguably one of the most important characters in all of movie cinema history, just to put his lick on the frickin' produce and put it back on the shelf. And that is why so many Star Wars fans today are so pissed off and angry. And they have completely left the building.
This is some good shit.
And what pisses me off is that everyone likes to throw ists and phobes around everywhere because people don't like shit. The reason most people don't like shit is because of The Last Jedi. It's because of its absolute assassination of a world-famous character that brought so much hope and love and strength to so many kids and people around the world for so many years.
Harrison Ford again, and just talking about the old days, Carrie Fisher. How did you guys reminisce?
I said, you guys, I have a very bad feeling about this.
And they don't understand this. These new weekend Star Wars fans, they do not understand this, and they think we just hate The Last Jedi because of Rey. I don't give a shit about Rey. I give a crap about Luke Skywalker, and he was ruined.
What could make someone give up a devotion to what is basically a religious entity, to give up being a Jedi? Well, the love of a woman. So he falls in love with a woman. He gives up being a Jedi. They have a child together. At some point, the child, as a toddler, picks up an unattended lightsaber, pushes the button, and is killed instantly. The wife is so full of grief, she kills herself.
Well, I don't know. Luke wouldn't just leave his lightsaber laying around and he would sense if his son was going to go and grab it, I'm pretty sure. So he really had to do some mental gymnastics in order to play this character. Like, I'm sorry, Mark. This is literally probably what he turned into, trying to mentally do those gymnastic moves in order to play Jake Skywalker from Rian Johnson. It probably broke him.
You have definitely got the best role in this film,
You
haven't
think?
you?
You think? Top dad entrance. Wink.
That could possibly, but he didn't have the time to tell a backstory like that, I'm guessing. He just wanted a brief thing to.
It's not that Rian Johnson didn't have the time. It's that Rian Johnson didn't even know. He just wanted to create shock value. He wanted a contrast. If George had written Luke to be some suicidal hermit, Rian Johnson would have done the opposite. He would have made him who Luke Skywalker really was. I don't think Rian Johnson even knew why Luke ended up doing this. The reason behind it in The Last Jedi, listen, I've studied The Last Jedi more than The Last Jedi fans. I have tried to understand this film for my own sanity. Forget the channel, forget the theories, forget the videos. As a lifelong Star Wars fan, where Luke Skywalker was arguably the most important character to me, I tried to understand what this guy did to my character so that I could sleep at night, so that I could love Star Wars still and not feel betrayed by Disney. And then, of course, you get, all these other people like doubling down and Andy Gutierrez saying Luke Skywalker fanboy tears and all of this stuff. Pablo Hidalgo, emotions are not for sharing. All of this crap. It's not only like you destroy our hero, you then make fun of us for it. And you wonder why the Star Wars IP is shit. You wonder why so many Star Wars YouTubers have turned their backs. You wonder why nobody watches Star Wars shit anymore. No one's buying the toys, why the shelves are all full. The hell, Walmart isn't even buying Star Wars toys for the characters. Nobody wants a Rose Tico. Nobody wants a Holdo. Nobody wants a Luke Skywalker Last Jedi.
McQueen is fading! McQueen is fading!
Everyone wants prequel trilogy. Everyone wants original trilogy. Because it had heart. Because it explained a story. Those were characters we grew up with and that we loved. They made sense. They were relatable. Luke Skywalker in The Last Jedi is not relatable at all. You start out as a weak, whiny farm boy with no vision of whatsoever of the future. You go through trial and error. Empire Strikes Back. You lose your hand. He's your father. Return of the Jedi, you come back, you're trained. You still lose. You throw it away for love. You throw your life away for love. You don't fight back. And in the end, your father redeems himself. He saves you. The galaxy is redeemed. The galaxy is saved. Then 30 years later, you end up just abolishing everything because your nephew has some bad visions, or you think he has some bad visions, or you imagine him doing things. And instead of actually trying to double down and work harder to make sure he does not turn to the dark side. I mean, forget Darth Vader, who already was like into the dark side for 20 plus years, had done horrible things that Ben Solo never did, and yet you still try to turn him back to the light, which is much harder than what you would have to do with Ben Solo, where he didn't even do anything. He just was maybe confused. So you show up in his sleep at his bedside with a freaking knife, with a lightsaber, and he wakes up. And then that makes you abolish everything and run away?
It was a Jedi Master who was responsible for the training and creation of Darth Vader.
And a Jedi who saved him. Yes, the most hated man in the galaxy, but you saw there was conflict inside him. You believed that he wasn't gone, that he could be turned.
And I became a legend.
Because he destroys your temple, which in the comic, and people think I don't know the sequel trilogy. I know it better than, I would say, most people, most sequel fans. I had to study this to understand it. You want to know how the Jedi Temple, Luke's Jedi Temple, was destroyed? How all of those students pretty much killed? Not really Ben Solo. It's Snoke who fired Force lightning from off to wherever he was with his finger.
Thank you.
Went like this. Boom! Flash of lightning. Exploded Luke's temple and caught everything on fire. That's what blew the temple up.
Ben leaves the hut, and this is the aftermath right after what just happened in The Last Jedi's flashback. He looks to the temple, and it literally combusts into flame and electricity. If there's one thing that's Palpatine, it's electricity, and that's symbolizing that he's returned or he's doing this. Now, we saw in The Last Jedi that Yoda did this as well to the Force tree with the sacred Jedi texts, which we all know Rey actually has. So it's not really far off that Palpatine could have done this as well with Luke's Jedi Temple. I mean, there are Force bubbles and shields, but I just think this really undermines everything that we've been coming to learn for Kylo's arc, whereas, we thought that he was the one who actually destroyed the temple and killed the students, but now we realize he didn't, so he's really not a bad guy. It's just confusing. I don't know. Kylo is blasted back, and he sees that people are dead. The Jedi Temple is on fire and exploded and in flames and pieces. He says, "No, no!" He tries to enter the temple to save people, and then he just gets thwarted back once again, just like what Yoda did to Luke, but now, you know, Palpatine or Snoke is doing it to Ben. He's crying and looking at the flames, saying, I didn't want this.
And you did not choose it, Ben. The Jedi did. Skywalker.
No, not Hosnian Prime. I'm going somewhere else. Ben says to the droid who was trying to take him back to Leia.
I hope this video goes viral so you sequel fans can understand how ridiculous this whole thing is. And you're defending it from people who have grown up with Luke Skywalker and Star Wars. Let's listen to what he has to say, Lex.
To explain it, and to me, it didn't justify it. That said, and I told him this, despite the fact that I disagree with your choices for Luke, I'm going to do everything within my power to make your screenplay work as best that I can.
Well, yeah, he was getting paid $10 million or something like that to do it. Of course, he's an actor at the end of the day. He signed a contract, he got paid, boom, he's going to do his job.
And the only thing unfortunate about that is I've heard comments from fans who think that I somehow dislike Rian Johnson. And
I don't think anybody thinks you dislike Rian Johnson, Mark. I think people want to just see you be real. I think people and fans, the fans that have that wait in line to pay for your autograph for $1,000, pay for your photo ops, to see you because your character has inspired so many people in this world over all these decades. No one thinks you care about Rian Johnson. I don't think people even give a shit about Rian Johnson and his hundreds of millions of dollars that he's gotten from his new projects, which great for him. He's doing his job and he's succeeding. But he failed with Star Wars. He failed Star Wars fans. And he divided the fandom even more. And holding up that little cue card, your Snoke theory sucks. The Snoke theory from a freaking 12-year-old was better than the shit that he gave us with his $1 million contract. Let that shit sink in. None of these guys that were hired by Kathleen Kennedy, who appointed all of them. You want to know how Rian Johnson got the job of The Last Jedi? He came in to pitch Kathleen a Star Wars trilogy of his own, which is what they were going to do. Remember how they were announcing it and then it's been shelved? That was the original idea. And she said, you know what? We don't have a director for The Last Jedi for the middle of this new trilogy. Why don't you do it, Ryan? And he's like, okay. That's how he got the job. No collaboration with JJ. No talks. No scripts. Nothing. Just, hey, you want it? All right, cool.
Yeah! Oh, better luck next time, buddy! Woo!
Thank you, Kathleen. I really appreciate that. You did a great job. Thank you so much. Yeah, you guys need to stop huffing your own farts. Let the shield down and realize nobody actually hates anybody who did any of this shit. We hate what you did. We hate your decision making. We hate the way that you treat fans after you fart all over everything. You crop dusted all of us. And then you're saying, why are you making that face? Breathe it in. What the? No. What do you? No. What the hell, man?
There was something wonderful about watching you as a lonely person enduring a sort of crisis of faith, not just a crisis of faith of, you know, the religion of the film, of the Force and being a Jedi, but just to wonder whether you have your own place in the world, like whether your life is meaningful.
Right.
You know?
Well, yeah, I agree.
Bullseye with Jesse Thorne. I would love to debate with you The Last Jedi and Star Wars. I think it would be a really interesting conversation. If you would like to, let me know. Comment on this video, or you guys reach out to him and ask him if he would like to talk about it. As you guys know, I'm always extremely respectful despite other people being super rude to me. I love debating Star Wars. I love discussing Star Wars, the films, the books, the games, the comics, the characters. I think I can make some great points. It's funny that this movie is still making so many people triggered, including me. But when you destroy something like Luke Skywalker, when you hurt a character like that, I mean, it's hard not to, right? This is a timeless thing. You can't go back in time and fix that. And I think really the only person who could fix it is Jon Favreau if he doesn't have Kathleen Kennedy buzzing around telling him what to do and what not to do. The whole argument that I've seen with people from liking The Last Jedi, saying Luke Skywalker's character is very moving, is simply this. It's someone who has lost their faith, someone who has lost their way, and they have to find their way back. Yes, very moving. That's, of course, what happens in life. You do lose your way. But you know what? It would be great if we would have had a trilogy where we got to see the middle part, because we started out with Luke being extremely loss of faith, not knowing what his faith even was, to training, to then losing again, and then finding his faith. And as he finds his faith, his father dies. He's now at the start of his career as a Jedi Knight. Would have been nice to have seen that version, maybe 20 years later, you know? You want to destroy him 10 years after that? Okay. Make him lose his faith? Fine. But we already had that arc in the beginning. We don't need to have that now. That's the next thing that we see. We were waiting for something different. That's why so many people are pissed off, because we didn't get to see that. Listen, man, I grew up with 80s and 90s movies, action stars. Frickin' Sylvester Stallone, Arnold Schwarzenegger, Dolph Lundgren, Bruce Willis, Jean-Claude Van Damme, Steven Seagal, Chuck Norris, Bruce Lee. Like you grew up with these guys who, yes, times get tough. Yes, you get beat down, you lose, but you never sulk. You never quit. You never leave. You never be weak. You always have to come back stronger, more powerful. You never give up. You never leave the people who are counting on you. Dragon Ball Z, for example. What are you, Yamcha? Even Yamcha has more of a grit than Luke Skywalker in The Last Jedi. None of these guys have time to obsess and whine over, do we belong? Yeah, you know what? That's a part of life. But that was Luke's part of life on Tatooine in episode 4. Do I belong? Where do I belong? What's the point of anything? Then he finds that. He gets that. And then all of a sudden, he's at his peak, like when he's well into his monkness, his oneness, he all of a sudden, because he wants to kill his nephew, because he thinks his nephew has some bad thoughts.
See, now that's some bullshit.
Dude, how does anybody not see this? And I spoke with Matthew Stover years ago, a brilliant writer, and he said that the only reason Luke did that is because he was fearful that Kylo would have killed Han Solo. Okay, but you know what? I feel like the real Luke would have actually tried against that, tried to change his ways, would have actually talked with Ben and felt out the situation. And look what happened anyway. He killed Han Solo anyways. It just goes to show that no matter what you do, no matter what you create, there will be always someone who dislikes or likes it. For me, I can't see the vision of these people who want this weak Luke Skywalker because they themselves see themselves as this weak being who then finds himself somehow but then dies. And the whole thing of Luke Skywalker in The Last Jedi is this estrogenic, castrated, as Mark Hamill said, suicidal hermit. You want hope. People have enough of that. You want hope. You want something real. And we got to see that arc from the original trilogy.
You failed, Your Highness. I am a Jedi, like my father before me.
You don't regress. This isn't even regression. This is just a literal different character.
I never knew that my favorite part of Star Wars would be a guy milking a space walrus, but here we are.
Well, there you go. Yes. I can't even remember that I have some character that's only in a video game. And he goes, and he describes the character. So I'm saying, I have no idea who that is. And he starts, he describes the character in detail, and he goes, and it's in, and he names the game, so it's canon. I mean, the Colbert writers
Wasn't the name
got
Ogdo
that so
Bogdo?
right,
Something like that? God, it was such a bitch to kill. Oh my gosh. You guys remember those streams? Yeah, that was times. You know, shout out to this gentleman, Bullseye, with Jesse Thorne. Jesse Thorne for getting this interview. I don't know how you did, and frankly, this is probably going to have a lot more views now. But anyways, if you guys want to see the full thing, you can go there. I'm going to link it below. But look, I said all I needed to say pretty much regarding The Last Jedi and Luke Skywalker and Mark Hamill and Rian Johnson. And I truly believe that if The Last Jedi was done the way a lot of us were hoping it would have been, and that means Luke Skywalker was who we hoped he would have been, which is how he should have been, and Legends, how George was going to write him with his sequel trilogy, with bringing Darth Maul back and all that stuff, and talking about the microorganisms like the midichlorians. If it was going to progress on Luke being more of an Obi-Wan character without losing his faith and being all the suicidal hermit, I think so many Star Wars fans and the Star Wars brand and IP, myself, would have been so much more hopeful, gracious with Disney and their decisions, because we would have not felt like they abandoned us and then stepped on us. And I think that's how a lot of Star Wars fans feel today. And I think one of the things
What's the fastest way back? No, it's not that way. It's going to be just going around this way. I'll tell you something I missed, though, is the designated button for the map. Having to go to inventory each time to open the map is tedious. You playing the Wii Resident Evil games too? Yeah. Yeah, they're actually good. Are they? We'll see. You know which one I'm kind of looking forward to that's coming up? Is Resident Evil Survivor. We do that one after Resident Evil 2, so after we do all 4 routes, we're going into Survivor. That actually looks pretty fun. I'd never seen it before. Oh, wrong way. I'd never seen it before, but it actually seems kind of hype. Don't really have the ammo to spare for... Oh my god! What? I'm not wasting a grenade for it either. Jesus. Oh, absolutely, it would be Fluffles. It would definitely be as bad. Let's go to the chief's office now. Since he won't come out, I'm just gonna have to put him down. Here's the vault, 2236, and I immediately hit the wrong number. 2, 2, 3, 6. I read that in the note earlier. All for some acid rounds. Acid rounds are really good, though. And the map. Is that actually all? I guess not entirely. Well, we're looking real low on ammo. Here's some turtle. There was ammo on that dead zombie. Is there? I see. Nice. That's big. Actually, that is big. Seems like every dead zombie, just like already dead zombie, has ammo. Might as well mix this. A lot of healing supplies here. I'm a full-blown fucking ambulance. I gotta start storing some of it. Which way did I come from? This way, right? Yeah, I came from that way. That's where Leon was. Nice, yeah, pretty much every dead body seems to have ammo. Damn it! Jesus. Yeah, of course I'm playing the Outbreak games. How much damage did that do? Not much. Vaguely remember the helicopter fire. Nice. Clean run. Okay. Nothing there. Here we go. Wow. Lot of items here. Valve handle. The fucking harpoon. What is this? That's Kendo's crossbow. I really need an item box. What are the odds there's one in here? I feel like I should just save. I feel like that might just immediately start a boss fight or something. I would be pissed too if I die in it. I'll come back for the crossbow. Whoa! What? I am so tired of that dive. That dive is the biggest load of baloney, I swear. Too dangerous. That's all that door does? Cool. I'm gonna forget that the crossbow's here. I already know it. Do I ever come back this way? Reload that save, get the bullets back. True! I could just do that. No, you never come back this way. Fuck. Can I drop things from my inventory? No. Fuck. I could just waste this. I think that's my only option. Does the crossbow take 2 inventory slots? Tell me before I waste it again. One. Okay, then I'm gonna waste this, that way I can grab it. Favorite game to play right now aside from Resident Evil? Titanfall 2. So this whole area is just a waste. What a shame. Ugh. Hopefully the bow gun makes it worth it. That was close. She's camping the stairs. What a piece of shit. Come on, move away from the stairs. Come to me. I have to be conservative with ammo. Okay, she moved. Exit tier 1, Gav. This one. Now, if I remember right, this is where Mr. X comes out. Why did they just send me back here? Is that all I do? Okay. I guess I'll just run it back through Crows. Mr. X is only scenario B on OG Res 2. Oh, okay. Is this the door I came from or no? Get the jewels. Okay, so this is where the jewels get used. Probably need that. That I might not need. No, what's going on? Who's screaming? I mean, it tried to turn me around. I should probably run to where I was turning, but I was too preoccupied with this room. Thanks, Resub Willie. Wait, was it in that room? Because there's nowhere behind me it would have been, right? It had to be this room. Am I stupid? Definitely would have been this room. where the jewels go. Bang! I give him the little Iron Man core. Enjoy. Okay, Bluestone acquired. Lot of ink ribbons, man. They load you up. That's actually very sweet, though. Now I'll just go save again, I guess. Why not? That depends, False. Resident Evil's a little more action heavy than that. I'm sorry to hear that. I said it'll get better. I don't have any great words of wisdom for you, but it'll get better. Yeah, we'll be doing more One Piece content. For sure. I feel like I don't need blue stone yet. So I'm gonna put that back. That's Heart's Key. I know where that goes. Is there anything else on this side? How do I get over there? Do anything else from here. Let's go use the Heart's Key. The map doesn't show me, right? Let me see, just in case. I'm doing Claire and Leon OG, and then Leon and Claire and remake as well. There's 4 routes. So it's Claire A, OG, Leon B, OG, Leon A remake, Claire B remake. That's terrible, Russell. That must be super hard to navigate. That's Diamond Door over there. Up here, I think, is Heart Door. This is Locked Door. Where is Heart Door? That's probably what it was, Sky, yeah. This one is the desks. Man, I went all the way back through thinking there was a Heart Door somewhere here. where Leon was. I'll take some bullets. I don't see why not. This is the update for Last of Us 2 that adds a feature that allows you to play the story in chronological order. Finally. I did not see that update. Chat did mention it though, which is pretty cool. You've got the diamond key, not heart. Don't tell me that. Are you serious? Oh my god, you're right. Fuck! I thought it was the heart key. Oh, I remember that ish, yeah, on AIM. God damn it! You're gonna play all 28 games or just main storyline? 29 games, actually, because I did Resident Evil 1.5 yesterday. So no, just not the main ones. We're doing all of them. Holy. Holy! What the fuck? Reset, reset. Oh my god. Do I need to be in that room or is that another meme room? Oops. My guess is that it's not a meme room. That one's probably important. Okay, no, that one is important. Okay. Do I go back and grab the grenade? Nah. Nah. I'm not a bitch. I can make it work. Oh, you can't be serious with that baloney. We're still fine. No way! Stop lunging! I can't tell on the floor if that's blood or not. It's still fine on health, actually. I should have known. Still fine. Plastic bomb. We got the C4. Oh, fuck. Just go. No, 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 no. There is no fucking way that lunge is beating my shots every time. I even went for a headshot for the crit and he still lunged through it. Oh my god, there's still another. That's crazy. I see the blood. Okay, more film. Is that more goon pics? I remember this room in the remake. Ammo? No ammo on this guy. Not this time, I don't think. Hey, Marvin. No, Marv! That's very sad. Not that he's dead, it's very sad he actually hit me twice. I didn't stun him and I couldn't turn around because there's no quick turn. That was sad. That was sad. Really need to heal now. It's alright. I've got a red herb in the bank. I can also go blow up the helicopter spot now. I need these two. Oh, I forgot to develop the film. I could have just turned around and done that real quick. Is this film important? No? Okay. No. Then I'll just go back for it whenever it's convenient. Because I don't feel like running all the way back now. Alright, let's rip a save. Might as well. I'm not sure, Tiffany. I've only ever combined red herbs with green. Well, and blue. Okay, let's go blow that shit up. Wasting the ammo. Come here, chump. This might not actually be large enough to do the bait, but we'll see. It was. Clutch! Easy. Get the full tablets. Well, I only have blue tablet and the serpent one. I don't think that's all of them. What are you playing this on? PlayStation 1. Which way was the helicopter debris? It was this way, right? Yeah, there it is. And then I go around, right? I don't just use it here. Yeah, go around. I do it from the roof, right? Well, not the roof, but like the top story over here. That's where we put the toy. Isn't this emulated? Yeah, but it's an emulated PlayStation. That counts. No, you use it by the door. Fuck! Couldn't remember. Too late now. Yep. Thought so. Damn it! Nice. We're schmovin'. No! What happened here? What the fuck?
Oh, I'm terribly sorry. I thought you were another one of those zombies.
No!
Are you Chief Irons?
Not me.
Yes, that's me. And just who are you? No, don't bother telling me. It makes no difference. You'll end up just like all the others.
So, what happened here, huh?
That's the mayor's daughter. I was told to look after her, but I failed miserably.
Oh, yeah. No, I see that.
Just look at her. She was a true beauty. Her skin nothing short of perfection. But it will soon putrefy, and she will turn into a zombie within the hour, like all the others.
There must be some way to stop it.
In a manner of speaking, there is. Either by putting a bullet through her brain, or by decapitating her completely.
Both good options. Which do you want to do? Is there a katana nearby?
And to think that taxidermy used to be my hobby. But no longer. Please. I'd really like to be alone now.
Sure. No, that makes sense. You got any, like, treasures for me? Maybe I steal your trophies? What about ammo?
Please. I'd really like to be alone now.
No, I get that. I'm just looking
I
for
thought those motherfuckers were gonna be here to fix the goddamn bathroom. They aren't here. I feel like I know this guy. I'm fucking shiny hunting next to this guy. He looks familiar.
No, nothing in here. Okay, hey, Chief, you do what you gotta do. I'm gonna hear a gunshot when I open this, I feel it.
That's someone I would fucking know of.
I heard Sherry running around. Sherry! Come on, surely there's ammo in here, right? Oh, almost left. No, guess not.
What the actual hell is on the TV right now?
Uh-oh.
Wait. Let me go. Easy there. I'm not a zombie.
I'm a hero.
You're safe now.
Oh, that was easy to earn her trust.
Leon, come in. I found the girl, and I've cleared the wreckage that was blocking the corridor.
Got it.
Honestly, it was... The vibe today was like... I woke up... Fucking... The vibe today has been so weird. I don't even remember.
I'm saying, I'm pretty sure you woke up like not even an hour ago. Why do I have to set a home address on Google? What the fuck? Never seen that. Asking me for my home address.
Yeah.